Hey there, Alex Kidman, and today I'm taking a look at the Bonelk 9-in-1 USB desktop hub. Heck of a name for a thing. Before I start though, I should encourage you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm perilously close to 1,000 subscribers. That'd be a lovely number to hit before the end of the year. Just a serving suggestion. Anyway, on with the show. So, while Bonelk is a weird sort of name for a thing, this is a very standard kind of device. I should point out also at the start that Bonelk have provided it to me for the purposes of review. No money's changed hands. They have no control over what I'm going to say, for better or worse. So, there are a lot of these USB-C hubs out there because there's a lot of notebooks and desktops out there with not enough ports or not enough easily accessible ports. And the idea is you get one of these, you plug this USB-C end into any USB-C port on your computer, and you get all these nice tasty ports to play with. So what do I like and what do I not like? I do like the physical construction. So this is a two-part device. This is basically just a stand. You can pop this in either way. It doesn't really care. It depends on your needs, really, if you're going to have it vertically. Although, of course, you can just have it horizontally. You don't need the base at all. And if you were traveling, if you were using it that way, that would be a smarter way to do it. I use it as a desktop hub. I suspect most people will. And for that, I like the vertical orientation. Your tastes may vary. So what do you get in terms of connectivity? Well, you get dual HDMI, 4K at up to 30 Hertz. You get a single VGA port for your old school projectors and older monitors and the like. And you get a power delivery USB-C port. The idea there being that you can do power flow through to a MacBook or other devices. I've used it with a MacBook and it certainly works there. But anything that does that kind of USB-C power delivery should work with that. There is an important qualification there, which I'll get to in a minute as well. On the other side, you get microSD and SD card slots. You get two USB 3 A-type ports and a single USB-C port for connecting peripherals. You also get this final port, which is, of course, the port that actually connects through to your device. It's not going to do a whole lot without that. That's a reasonable assortment of ports. There are some technical challenges there. While dual HDMI is really rather nice, at this price point, it might have been nice to see 60 Hertz rather than 30 Hertz across that. For some people, especially gamers, I suppose, that could be a big consideration. The other big missing part of the puzzle, in my estimation here, is Ethernet. There's no Ethernet on this. Bonelk do a 14-in-1 port version, slightly more expensive, and you might think, well, that'll be the one for me. That doesn't have Ethernet either. And it's one of those things I would have preferred to see maybe rather than the VGA. Of course, your tastes and needs might vary. The body of the device itself is built out of aluminium. That gives it nice rigidity. It also gives it really pretty good heat dissipation. I've used a lot of these types of hubs in the past, and a lot of the plastic ones get really, really hot, and they can start misbehaving if they start overheating. I haven't really hit that problem with this as yet, which suggests that you are paying for a slightly better quality device. Now, the predominant way I've used it is with a MacBook and with power delivery flowing through. I could see a challenge if you had a lot of devices plugged into it, where if you were using it in standalone mode, there might not be enough power flowing through USB to run everything you might want to. So that's maybe a catch if that's not the way you're planning to use it. I will say I haven't really tested it a great deal in that style. Like a lot of these multi-function hubs, by the time you've got everything plugged into it, if you've got lots of things plugged into it, and who's going to buy a multi-port hub if you're not going to plug a lot of things into it, really? It becomes a bit of a spider. There's just cables everywhere. The horizontal orientation does help a little bit with that, but not a lot. It is a little bit problematic in that regard. Now, there's also the issue of the cost. So here in Australia, the 9-in-1 version of the hub costs $169. You can get the 14-in-1 version, which bungs in a couple of extra SD card slots and a few other USB ports, I believe, off the top of my head, for $199. That might be worth considering, actually, given that kind of price difference, but whatever way you cut it, this is a premium price device. You can get cheaper USB-C hubs, and it's worth comparing everything that's out there and working out exactly what you do or don't need. So overall, on the plus side, I really like the build quality. So far, no real problems with its performance. The dual HDMI is nice too. However, would have been nicer with an Ethernet port, would have been nicer with 60 Hertz display. Anyway, that's my take on the Bonelk USB 9-in-1 multi-port desktop hub. Got any thoughts? Got any comments? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.